If you're watching this video right now, let me tell you, you're not here by chance. This moment was divinely arranged, and you are one of the special, chosen ones. God has been guiding your steps even when you didn't realize it. And today, He's leading you right into the breakthrough you've been waiting for. You've been through the fire, you've cried in silence, you've held on when everything in you wanted to let go. But hear me clearly, before this month ends, you will look back and say, thank you, God, that I didn't give up. Because what's coming is going to make every struggle make sense. There's a powerful shift happening in your life. The winds of heaven are moving. God is turning your pain into purpose, your delay into destiny. This is your moment. Your breakthrough is closer than it's ever been. Keep believing, keep standing, because something big is about to unfold. Before we go deeper into this life-changing word, I invite you to do 3 things. Push up like this video because someone else out there needs this same encouragement. Subscribe to our channel and help us reach 10,000 subscribers, building a global community of faith and hope. And leave the number 66 in the comments. It represents divine alignment and heavenly confirmation that your shift is near. God brought you here because your story isn't over. In fact, the most beautiful chapter is about to begin. Before this month ends, get ready. You're going to thank God you held on. Galatiana. Today, friends, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Before this month ends, you will thank God you did not give up. You see, purpose is relentless. It never quits on you, even when you feel like quitting on it. Every obstacle, every setback you have faced up to this moment is not a signal to stop. It's a summons to dig deeper. Purpose is not measured by how easy the journey is, but by how committed you are when it's hardest. Understand this. Delay is not denial. Many of you have been waiting, praying, fasting, and wondering when the door will open. Let me tell you, it's already opening. The waiting season is your working season. While you're waiting, something inside you is being developed. Your patience, your endurance, your wisdom, you are being prepared, not punished. And don't be fooled by resistance. Persistence breaks resistance. The very thing fighting you right now is proof that you are making progress. No enemy bothers with someone who isn't a threat. The fact that you're feeling pressure is confirmation you're advancing. I know there are some who feel like they have failed. Maybe you lost something, a job, a relationship, an opportunity, and you think it's over. Listen carefully. Your future is always bigger than your failure. Failure is not final unless you decide to stop. God's design for your life has no reverse gear. Remember, endurance turns pain into testimony. The pain you are carrying today is the raw material for your breakthrough story tomorrow. You are not just surviving for yourself. You are becoming a pillar for others who will come behind you. Finally, I want to remind you, breakthrough often looks like breakdown first. The moment you feel you can't take any more, that's often when you're closest to victory. The darkest battles come just before the dawn of a new day. So hold on. Stand firm. Refuse to give up. Before this month ends, you'll look back at this moment with tears of joy and say, thank God I didn't quit. Stay strong. Your miracle is closer than you think. Purpose is one of the most powerful forces on earth. It is the original reason for your existence, the assignment stamped on your life before you ever drew your first breath. The truth is, purpose never quits on you. It doesn't back away because things get difficult. It doesn't dissolve when circumstances become uncomfortable. Even when you attempted to walk away, to shut the door, to throw in the towel, your purpose remains firmly in place, waiting for you to rise up and keep moving forward. That is why quitting is so dangerous. When you decide to give up, you are not simply abandoning a goal or a dream. You are stepping away from the very reason you were born. Many people live frustrated, empty, or restless lives because they have disconnected from their purpose. But even when they do, purpose doesn't go anywhere. It is like a seed buried deep in the soil of your heart. It may seem hidden, it may feel dormant, but it is still alive, waiting for the right moment and the right conditions to spring forth. You have to understand that the storms of life are not designed to cancel your purpose. If anything, they are designed to confirm it. Every challenge you face is a part of your preparation. The hardship, the disappointment, the closed doors, they are not evidence that you are on the wrong path. They are often the very indicators that you are aligned with something bigger than yourself. The enemy of your soul doesn't waste energy fighting what isn't a threat. The very fact that you are under pressure is proof that there is something valuable inside of you worth attacking. Purpose has staying power. It is not fickle and it is not fragile. It will pursue you even when you try to ignore it. How many times have you tried to turn your back on a vision or a calling only to find that it keeps resurfacing? That's because real purpose cannot be silenced. You can distract yourself for a season, you can busy yourself with other things, but purpose is persistent. It calls to you in the quiet moments. It tugs at your spirit when you least expect it. It keeps knocking until you are willing to open the door. That is why you must make a decision. No matter how hard it gets, you will not quit. You must settle it in your heart that giving up is not an option. Yes, there will be days when you feel tired. Yes, there will be moments when everything in you wants to stop. But those are the very moments when you must remind yourself why you started. You must look beyond the pain of now and focus on the promise of what's coming. Think about every great figure who has made a mark in history. Their paths were never without obstacles. In fact, the greater the purpose, the greater the opposition. But what sets them apart is not that they were stronger or more talented than everyone else. It's that they refused to quit. They recognized that purpose was bigger than their feelings, bigger than their fears, and bigger than their failures. You have that same potential within you. Your purpose is your assignment, your mandate, and it carries the power to impact not only your life, but the lives of countless others. When you give up, you are not just forfeiting your blessing, you are affecting the destinies that are tied to yours. Someone is waiting on the other side of your obedience. Someone is looking for the solution that you were born to bring. So today I challenge you, recommit to your purpose, stir up the vision that may have grown dim, fan the flames of passion that may have cooled. Get back up even if you feel weak, because the truth is your purpose has never left you. It has been standing there all along, unwavering, immovable, and ready to carry you into everything you were created to become. One of the hardest things to accept in life is the waiting season. We live in a world that values speed, where everything is expected to happen instantly. We want quick answers, immediate breakthroughs, and fast success. But the truth is, in the journey of purpose, delay is often part of the process. And here's the key. Delay is not denial, it is development. When you understand this, you stop seeing waiting as wasted time and begin to recognize it as preparation for what is to come. Many times, when something we are praying or working for doesn't happen on our timeline, we assume that the answer is no. We start to question ourselves, question God, and question the vision we once believed in. But what looks like a delay from the outside is often a deliberate season of shaping. Just because something hasn't manifested yet doesn't mean it has been denied. It means it is being worked out, sometimes behind the scenes, sometimes within you. Think about it. When you plant a seed, you don't see immediate results. The seed must go through a process underground. where it takes root and begins to grow before it ever breaks the surface. If you judged its progress too soon, you might think nothing is happening at all. But in reality, everything essential is happening beneath the surface. The same is true for your life. During seasons of delay, there are things happening that you cannot see. Lessons being learned, character being built, strength being developed. This is all part of God's strategy to make sure that when the breakthrough does come, you are truly ready to handle it. One of the reasons delay is necessary is because sometimes what we are asking for is bigger than we can manage in the moment. You might have the vision, but you don't yet have the capacity. You might have the dream, but not yet the discipline. The delay allows you to grow into the person who can sustain the blessing you are believing for. Without this development, what is meant to bless you could end up breaking you. We see this truth repeated over and over in the lives of great men and women throughout history. Joseph had a dream of leadership and influence, but before he could step into that role, he went through years of delay, betrayal, slavery, and prison. Was it denial? No, it was development. In those dark places, Joseph was learning humility, patience, wisdom, and trust. By the time he was promoted to his position of authority, he was fully prepared to lead with integrity and strength. This is a pattern you cannot escape. Every delay in your life is an invitation to grow deeper. It's in the waiting seasons that your faith is tested and your motives are refined. It's where you discover what you truly believe and whether you have the endurance to see your vision through to the end. Anyone can be excited about purpose when things are moving quickly, but real maturity is proven when you stay faithful even when nothing seems to be happening. Sometimes the delay is not even about you alone. It's also about the timing of other factors that must come into alignment. The right people, the right opportunities, the right conditions all have their part to play. There is a perfect timing for everything under heaven, and rushing ahead of that timing can cause unnecessary pain or failure. When you trust the process, you allow things to come together in the way they were divinely designed. So I want to encourage you today. Don't despise the delay. Don't let impatience cause you to abandon your purpose. Keep working, keep believing, keep preparing. Every day you spend in the waiting room of life is a day of development that will pay off in due season. What feels like a pause is often a setup for a greater release. You must shift your perspective and see the delay not as punishment, but as proof that something valuable is being formed in you. Greatness is never rushed. Diamonds are made under pressure and over time. The same principle applies to your destiny. Trust that what is delayed is not denied, and while you wait, let yourself be developed into the person who is ready to receive it. Stay the course, because your due season is coming. There is a principle that governs progress in every area of life. Persistence breaks resistance. No matter who you are or what you are called to do, you will face obstacles. Challenges are not a sign that you are on the wrong path. Often, they are the clearest confirmation that you are on the right one. Resistance rises up to test the strength of your commitment. It pushes back to see if you truly believe in the vision you carry. But here's the truth. The force that breaks through that resistance is persistence and a determination that refuses to quit, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. Persistence is not about a one-time effort. It's not about trying something once or twice and then walking away when it doesn't work. Persistence is the consistent application of pressure day in and day out, even when the results are not immediate. It is the ability to keep showing up, to keep working, to keep believing when everything in you is tempted to stop. It's the inner conviction that your breakthrough is worth every ounce of effort and every moment of waiting. Resistance is a natural part of any worthwhile endeavor. The greater the goal, the greater the resistance. This is true in every field, whether in business, ministry, relationships, or personal growth. The reason resistance exists is because you are moving against the status quo. You are pushing against barriers that are meant to be broken. Every time you press forward, you are stretching your capacity and proving that you are ready for the next level. Persistence wears down resistance over time. Think of water dripping steadily onto a rock. One drop may seem insignificant, but over time, that constant dripping can carve through stone. That's the power of persistence. What seems immovable today can be broken down through the consistent, unrelenting pressure of your efforts. The walls you face are not as permanent as they appear. They are waiting for you to apply enough force long enough to bring them down. One of the greatest mistakes people make is to assume that resistance means it's time to quit. But the opposite is true. Resistance is often a signal to press harder. When you encounter obstacles, it's not a sign to retreat, it's a sign to dig in. Too many people give up too soon. They start with passion and excitement, but when the first challenge appears, they lose momentum. What they don't realize is that the breakthrough was often just beyond the point of their surrender. Persistence requires faith and vision. You must have a clear picture of where you are going, because that vision fuels your determination. When the road gets rough, it's your vision that keeps you anchored. It reminds you why you started in the first place and why you cannot afford to stop now. Every great accomplishment is born out of someone's refusal to quit. It's also important to remember that persistence is not blind stubbornness, it is purposeful and strategic. While you continue pressing forward, you also remain open to learning, adjusting, and improving. Persistence means you keep moving forward, but it also means you stay teachable. You don't just work harder, you work smarter as you grow in wisdom and understanding. In your own journey, ask yourself, what resistance am I facing right now? What walls are trying to block my progress? And more importantly, have I applied enough persistence to break through them? Your answer will determine your outcome. You have more strength than you realize. The ability to outlast your obstacles is already inside you. The key is to tap into that inner reservoir of resolve and refuse to let go until you see results. But distance is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's what turns vision into reality. It's what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary examples of what is possible. When you persist, you are making a declaration that you believe in the purpose over your life more than you believe in the power of your obstacles. So today, make a commitment to persist, no matter how long it takes, no matter how tough it gets. Decide that you will not be moved. Your persistence will eventually wear down every resistance in your way. Keep pressing, keep pushing, keep believing, because your breakthrough is inevitable if you refuse to give up. One of the most powerful truths you can hold on to in life is this: your future is always bigger than your failure. No matter what mistakes you have made, no matter how many setbacks you have experienced, and no matter how badly things may have fallen apart, your destiny is not canceled. Failure is a temporary event. It is never a permanent condition unless you choose to make it one. The problem many people face is not that they have failed, it's that they have allowed failure to define them. But the truth is, failure is just a chapter in your story, not the conclusion. We all stumble. We all make decisions we regret. We all face moments where we fall short of our own expectations or the expectations of others. But what separates those who rise again from those who remain stuck is their understanding of purpose. When you know you were born with a purpose, you realize that no failure has the power to erase it. Purpose is immune to your mistakes. It does not change because of a bad decision or a wrong turn. Your purpose was established before you made that mistake, and it remains intact after it. The challenge is to shift your perspective. Failure often feels final because it comes with shame, disappointment, and a sense of loss. But if you look closely, failure can also be one of your greatest teachers. It reveals areas that need growth. It exposes weaknesses that need strengthening, and most importantly, it humbles you in ways that success never can. The lessons you learn in failure are often the very tools you will need to build your future. One of the greatest dangers is allowing a temporary setback to dictate the rest of your life. You may have failed in business, in ministry, in relationships, or in your personal goals. But that failure is not your identity. It is simply an event. What matters most is what you do next. Will you allow the failure to imprison you, or will you use it as fuel to move forward with greater wisdom and strength? Your future is bigger because it contains new opportunities, fresh beginnings, and the chance to apply everything you have learned. When you get up after falling, you don't start from scratch, you start from experience. And experience is invaluable. It gives you insight and resilience that you never had before. Every time you rise after a fall, you become stronger, sharper, and more prepared for what's ahead. The enemy of your purpose wants you to believe that failure is fatal. He wants to paralyze you with guilt and shame so that you never dare to dream again. But purpose whispers a different message. It tells you that your best days are still ahead, that your calling is still alive, and that your story is not over. You must choose which voice you will listen to. Look at the lives of great leaders, innovators, and pioneers. Their journeys are marked by failure, often multiple times over, but they refused to let failure have the final word. They pressed forward, and in doing so, they discovered that their future held more than they could have imagined. More impact, more influence, and more fulfillment than they thought possible. Your future is bigger because it is shaped by divine design, not human error. It is built on promises that are greater than your problems. It is fueled by grace that covers your flaws and empowers you to keep moving forward. No matter how many detours you have taken, the road to your destiny is still open. There is always a way back to purpose when you are willing to rise again. So I encourage you today, do not let failure define you. Let it refine you. Let it teach you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the greatness that still lies ahead. Your future is bigger than your failure, and it is waiting for you to step into it with courage and confidence. The best is yet to come as long as you refuse to give up, keep your heart open, and keep walking toward the purpose you were created to fulfill. Endurance is one of the most powerful qualities a person can develop. It is not flashy, and it often goes unnoticed by others, but it is the quiet force that turns pain into testimony. Endurance is the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. It is the commitment to hold on even when circumstances seem unbearable and answers seem far away. Through endurance, the trials you face are transformed from moments of suffering into powerful stories of victory and transformation. Pain is something none of us can avoid, whether it's the pain of loss, the pain of disappointment, the pain of betrayal, or the pain of failure. We all encounter seasons that stretch us to our limits. But here's the truth. Pain in itself does not have the final say. It's what you do with that pain, how you respond to it, that determines whether it becomes a permanent wound or a powerful testimony. Endurance allows you to outlast the pain. It doesn't necessarily remove the difficulty immediately, but it gives you the strength to keep standing in the middle of it. When you endure, you are making a statement that your faith is stronger than your feelings and your hope is greater than your hurt. Endurance refuses to let the trial define you. Instead, it insists that the trial will refine you, shaping you into a person of deeper character, wisdom, and strength. Every testimony of triumph is birthed through endurance. You cannot have a victory story without a battle. You cannot testify of healing without facing some form of brokenness. The very pain that feels overwhelming today has the potential to become the platform from which you encourage and inspire others tomorrow. But that transformation only happens when you choose to endure. Endurance is not passive, it is active. It requires a daily decision to keep believing, keep hoping, and keep moving forward. It's the determination to get up each morning and face the challenges head on, even when nothing seems to be changing. Endurance says, I may be hurting, but I'm not quitting. I may be pressed, but I'm not crushed. I may be weary, but I'm not finished. This mindset is what eventually turns your deepest pains into your greatest victories. It's also important to understand that endurance is not something you muster up by sheer willpower alone. It is a grace that is developed through your connection with purpose and through spiritual strength. When you know that your life has meaning, when you are anchored in the truth that you're part of a bigger plan, endurance becomes possible, even in the hardest seasons. The realization that your pain is not pointless gives you the fuel to keep going. Think about the stories of people who have overcome incredible odds. Whether it's surviving illness, overcoming addiction, rebuilding after tragedy, or breaking through seemingly impossible barriers, what do all these stories have in common? Endurance. Each of these individuals chose not to let their pain have the last word. They kept pushing forward until their pain was transformed into a testimony that now gives hope to others. Your journey is no different. Whatever you are facing today, know this: your pain is not the end of your story. It is a chapter, and endurance is what will turn that chapter into a testament of grace and power. You may not see the full picture right now. You may not understand why certain things are happening, but if you keep holding on, there will come a day when you look back and see that every tear, every hardship, and every struggle was shaping you for something greater. Endurance is your bridge from pain to purpose. It is the process that turns suffering into strength and trials into triumphs. And when you come out on the other side, and you will carry a testimony that has the power to encourage and uplift others who are walking through their own storms. So today, make the decision to endure. Hold your ground, keep the faith, and trust that your pain is not in vain. The story you are writing with your life is not over yet, and the testimony that is being formed through your endurance will one day shine as proof that no pain is wasted when you refuse to give up. One of the most deceptive moments in any journey toward purpose is the period just before the breakthrough. It's the season when everything seems to be falling apart, when all your efforts appear wasted, and when your faith is stretched to the limit. What many don't realize is that breakthrough almost always looks like a breakdown first. Before things come together, they often feel like they are completely coming undone. This is not a sign that you are losing. It's usually the clearest indicator that you are on the edge of something significant. There's a pattern you will see if you study any life of greatness. The moment of greatest pressure, confusion, and challenge often comes right before the door opens to new levels. The problem is that in the middle of that breakdown moment, it feels like failure. It feels like betrayal, disappointment, and defeat. It feels like all your hard work and prayers have been in vain. But what you must understand is that what appears to be breaking down is actually making way for the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Think of it like this. When a seed is planted in the ground, it must break open before new life can emerge. From the outside, it looks like destruction. The shell splits, the old form is lost, and nothing looks the same. But without that breaking, there can be no growth. The seeds break down. It's the very process that makes this breakthrough possible. The same principle applies to your life. Before you step into a new season of growth, the old structures, systems, and supports have to be broken apart to make room for what's next. This is why it's so dangerous to judge your progress based on what you see in the middle of the process. If you only look at the mess and the pain, you might think you're losing ground when in reality, you are being prepared to gain more than you ever imagined. The breakdown is uncomfortable because it strips away things you relied on. Things that may have been good for a season, but are no longer sufficient for where you are going. This stripping process is painful, but it is purposeful. One of the most powerful examples of this truth is seen in the story of people who experience incredible transformation after facing their darkest moments. Whether it's a business leader whose company collapses before they discover a new groundbreaking opportunity, or an individual who hits rock bottom before finding their true calling, the pattern remains. Breakdown precedes breakthrough. The hardship is not a punishment, it's a preparation. It's the shaking that makes you ready to handle what's on the other side. The mistake many make is quitting during the breakdown. They assume that because everything is falling apart, the dream must be over. But if you can hold on, if you can endure through the confusion and chaos, you will see that the breakdown was not the end, it was the doorway. It was the final push before the new season began. This is why endurance and perspective are so important. You have to remind yourself in those moments of despair that what looks like the worst thing that could happen may actually be clearing the path for the best thing that's about to happen. It's also crucial to understand that breakthrough often requires a shift in mindset. Sometimes the breakdown is not just external, it's internal. Old ways of thinking, limiting beliefs, and harmful patterns have to be broken down before you can step into a new level of purpose and effectiveness. That internal breaking can be just as painful as any external trial, but it's essential for true transformation. So what does this mean for you today? It means if you're in a season where things seem to be unraveling, don't lose heart. Don't assume that the struggle is a sign of failure. Instead, consider that you may be closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The mess you're facing might be the evidence that something powerful is about to be birthed in your life. Hold your ground. Stay faithful. Keep your eyes on the vision, even when everything around you feels like it's collapsing. Because when the dust settles and the pieces fall into place, you will see that what looked like a breakdown was actually your breakthrough in disguise. The key is not to give up in the middle of the process. Your breakthrough is coming, and it's often hidden in the very thing that feels like your greatest struggle right now.